part of the reason why your story was so popular was because of the things that you experienced when you was 10 years old.
I took that opportunity with the grown man trying to please me.
How old was you?
I'd say, no more than 10 or 11.
If you had to like guesstimate what the number had got up to, how much would you say they sent?
They cut me off at, you guys had sent me about $10,000. They cut me off after that.
Why did they put you in a shelter?
Because my teeth were bad. They didn't feel like dealing with me.
Now that doesn't make any sense.
You can ask them yourself.
Wait, your parents put you out the house at 18. Had you already graduated high school?
No, I was still in high school.
Do you think your parents love you?
It doesn't matter. I have to live my own life.
I know, but I'm asking a yes or no question. Do you think they love you?
But I truly can't answer any questions for them. I don't know. I don't know how they feel inside, so I don't know.
Okay. Do you love them?
No.
What's up, YouTube? It's summertime and things are heating up in Atlanta. Make sure you go cop the merch at AtlantaStreetInterviews.com. Now back to the content. What's up, YouTube? Atlanta Street Interviews out here with an update. So guys, this is my most popular video on YouTube. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, actually.
Okay. So funny running into you, right? Funny running into you.
Yes, it is.
So first and foremost, how's everything been since the last time we saw each other?
It was like a 360-degree change, but you know, I do understand sometimes you're on and sometimes you're off. You know, so.
Well, you tell us what happened. Like, give us a little more.
Okay, so I was working at the Hilton, but again, I was just really doing the grand opening and everything. So, you know, that job ended, and I had to go find another job. It kind of hit me too fast, so I wasn't able to keep up and things. So I lost my housing again, and just everything like that. So I was back outside, and you know, I've just been like looking for different jobs and things like that. I have been able to enroll in school, so I will be in school next semester. And, you know, just basically things like that. You know, just always looking for something better.
I think the last time we saw you had like a man, a boyfriend, something like that.
Oh, yes.
What was, is that situation still going?
No. Remember, I was leaving him. That's why I was, you know, homeless.
Oh, in the situation,
yes,
right.
Yes.
And why were you leaving him again?
He just has too many mental issues, and he's not ready to, like, own up to his mental issues. He makes it seem like you're the one with mental issues, but he really is the one with mental issues. So I just had to walk away from my own safety and health purposes.
Was there like domestic violence and stuff like that going on?
Yes, a lot of domestic violence. He always wants to fight. He always wants to blame the next person. And I'm an adult, and I'm tired of being outside because you want to have a one-night stand. So I'm going to have a one-night stand every night in my own apartment.
Okay, I love it. Remind me, the teeth and everything, is that from drug use or? You know,
no, my teeth, remember I told you I have a bone deficiency.
Bone deficiency, that's right, that's right.
So that's why I kind of keep at it. You know, I continue to keep exercising so I can keep my health up, because I am taking these out within the next 3 months. Okay,
because your skin doesn't scream drugs or anything like that,
Not at all.
Right? So,
right.
Yeah, so, okay, so that's what that is. Okay, so you're basically back in the situation, kind of being homeless and everything else.
No, I have a bed.
Okay.
You know, I do have housing. So I'm doing pretty good. You know,
Is that like a shelter or something, or?
It's like a dormitory situation.
Okay.
And you know, just things like that. Like I said, I do have jobs, but they don't really pay that much. So you know, you have to work more than one job at a time.
Man, it's rough out here.
Yes.
It is so rough.
It is.
Okay, so okay, so you're working.
Yes.
And you got, you know, a bed. You got some type of room or whatever.
Yes.
Okay, got you. Okay, so let's get into the meat and potatoes. Your story was really popular because of the whole situation. Huh?
I said too popular.
Right? Did you expect it
to
go that popular?
No.
I had no clue.
I had no clue, and then they cut us off with the funding. You guys were really blessing me, like, tremendously, and then remember, they just cut us off.
Why did that happen? Why did that?
Cash App. You know, Cash App was experiencing a lot of things like that. And, well, they said that it was for my safety, but I'm like, having no money,
right?
That's not
like
safe.
They do. Listen, and it happens to people on my channel, like all the time, because I guess they start getting too many Cash Apps.
Well, my thing is, you know, I am a registered business owner, so you should be able to invest in my business.
That's wild.
Yeah.
If you had to like guesstimate what the number had got up to, how much would you say they sent?
Cut me off at, you guys had sent me about $10,000. They cut me off after that.
That's something else. That you're like the third or fourth person that specific number is what about they got to, and then they cut them off. So that's wild. That's wild. Okay. So yeah, so like I was saying, part of the reason why your story was so popular was because of the things that you experienced when you was 10 years old. Did anything ever happen to you when you was younger?
It actually did, but not in a bad way. I can put that on myself.
What happened?
I was a curious little girl, and you know, when you have a man willing to please you, you take that opportunity. You know, so as a child, I took that opportunity with the grown man trying to please me.
How old was you?
I was, I'd say, no more than 10 or 11.
10 or 11?
Yes, but I kept that to myself. So I felt like, you know.
So wait, so hold on, let's slow down. So you was 10 or 11. What was it? How old was the guy?
Ooh. I don't really want to put the title on there, but I'd say he was probably in his 20s.
In his 20s? And you say he had a specific title?
I'm not going to say that.
Okay, well, I mean, that's fine. So he was in his 20s. Was this someone that you knew?
Yes, it was. It was a family member.
A family member?
Yeah.
Wow, okay. And so, what happened?
Not too much. You know, just a little here and there.
So you guys would like have sex?
No, not fully, you know, because I was young.
Right, that's what I'm trying to figure out. What was it?
Yeah, so it was just not, I would just say pleasurable.
Was it like oral and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Was it you doing it to him or him doing it to you, or both?
It was both.
Okay, and he was in his 20s?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you initiate that or did he initiate that?
I don't know. That's the part I really can't remember. But, you know, when I look back at it, I was a gymnast. I was always in leotards. I was always half naked. So, you know, it was kind of like, you know.
So you think he may have initiated
Yeah,
it?
and I was just, you know, young and promiscuous and just, you know, when something feels good to you, it feels good.
Why do you think, so it felt good to you when he used to do that?
Yes.
So was it a situation where you like kind of wanted it to keep going when you was that age, or?
Yes, I'm not gonna lie, yes.
Okay.
Of course, because I was young. So, you know, when you're young, and then like as a gymnast, you're really focused, and you know, you begin to hurt yourself in ways just trying to actually accomplish the things that you want to accomplish. So it's like when you find something that, you know, makes you feel good, you kind of get addicted to that, I can say, no matter how bad it hurts.
How often would you guys do this?
Now that I can't remember. I don't know if it was like a all the time, like an all the time thing, or just like a when we travel, because we did travel together, so that's
So is this basically like your cousin?
No. I said I'm not gonna put a title on it, but that was a good close catch.
Well, because I mean, the only other thing, do you have like a stepbrother or something? Or?
Now, why would you think it would be that little?
Well, that's what I'm trying to figure out. If he's in his 20s and he's a family member.
It was an uncle.
It was an uncle?
Yeah.
Okay. When you look back on that, and you look back on the way that you told the story, what are your thoughts on that?
I probably would have told it a little bit differently, but again, you did catch me off guard.
Yes, that's my specialty. That's my specialty, right?
I was upset. I didn't want to do the interview, and then it's like when everybody started telling me about the interview, I was like, y'all saw that? It popped up on your phone?
What was their response? Like,
they was like, dang, Michaela, what's going on? You know, call me, hit me up. You know, like, we used to do gymnastics with you, this, that, and the third. And then I started trying to, like, reach out to everybody. But then my number, it looks foreign. So.
Huh, what do you mean looks foreign?
Yeah, like, so, like, sometimes when I'm trying to call people, y'all act like y'all don't know me. So I just be like, well, I'll see them around.
Okay.
You know?
Okay, so because, you know, a lot of the people in the comments pointed out that even when you had told the story, it sounds like you were still in the mentality of almost like when you were still back in those ages.
Oh, no.
Well, not like in your maturity level and everything else, but just as far as the way that you viewed it.
Okay.
Basically seeing it like almost like, you know, may have been your fault based on the things you was wearing or the things you was doing.
Well, it kind of was. Okay, it's not my fault. It's just when you have a body and you look good to someone, you know, and you're revealing your body. Like now, notice.
You had a body like that at 10?
I mean, not like that, but I was a gymnast. So,
right,
you know, I was comfortable with my body. I wore leotards. I wore short, you know, ballerina things.
Right.
So, you know, it's like, it's when a man is looking at you, you can't really control who looks at you.
Why? And I think that people understand that part, but it's the part about him being an adult and then, like, kind of not controlling his, you know, lust or whatever it was, right?
Yeah.
And that was your uncle, right?
Mm-hmm.
On your mom's side or your dad's side?
I don't know. Don't know.
Okay.
You know, again, lack of communication, you never know.
Huh. You didn't know what side?
So remember, okay, I grew up in gymnastics. I wasn't worried about the family.
So you was just all gymnastics.
Yes.
You was one of those kids that was like all in, you know what I'm saying? Like you was going out of town, doing this, doing that, all type of stuff.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And I don't recall, but is your mom still living?
Yes.
Did she see the videos? Both?
I don't know. Lack of communication. I'm sure she did.
You haven't spoken with your mom?
I have, but remember,
y'all don't talk about.
They don't accept me for who I am, so I kind of they're in the past. Like I always get questioned about my parents, and they gave me up to, you know, they put me in a shelter when I was in 2007. You know,
2007.
Yes, back then. That's why I said I don't.
So that was 18 years ago, and you're
yes.
36 now, right?
Yes, and that's why
so
I said
that was right
so,
when you was 18.
Yes, and that's why I get frustrated because my teeth started going bad then.
Huh.
Exactly. So I've just never been able to get enough
so
money.
Hold on. Why did they put you in a shelter?
Because my teeth were bad. They didn't feel like dealing with me.
Now that doesn't make any sense.
You can ask them yourself.
Wait, your parents put you out the house at 18. Had you already graduated high school?
Nope, I was still in high school. So
if I asked your parents,
would not know.
Are they still together?
Yes.
What?
They're gonna act like they don't remember.
What?
That's what they're gonna hit you with. Oh, I don't know. Why are you asking me? That's why I kept getting frustrated with you when you kept asking me about them. Because it's been 18 years. I don't know. They don't deal with me. It's been 18 years, and he would rather help someone out on the street than his own. He might not listen. He probably don't even remember my real name. So, like I said,
who, your dad?
Yeah. So that's why I said, don't remind him of me, and we won't have no problems, will we?
Well, now hold on. Now I may have missed this.
Mm-hmm.
Like I may have gotten focused on the story that you was telling and just kind of missed this.
Yes, and that's what I was trying to get you to understand. He suffered from memory problems, I guess. He can't even remember my name, so I just...
Your dad?
Yeah. I mean, he knows my name is MICHAELA, but in my presence, he's going to say, who is that?
Well,
so
is
I
it
never
because
remind him of me.
Does he have some type of dementia or Alzheimer's or something like that?
You'll have to ask my mom. I don't know. But
wait, so hold on. Let's break this down. So all right, I always ask this question. Do you think your parents love you?
It doesn't matter. I have to live my own life.
I know, but I'm asking a yes or no question. Do you think they love you?
But I truly can't answer any questions for them. I don't know. I don't know how they feel inside, so I don't know.
Okay. Do you love them?
No. Because love, it wears out. Once you go through so much, once you feel so much pain and hurt, love don't pay my bills.
So you're saying that even after your parents put you out, you were still dealing with the uncle?
No, I wasn't. I was in a group home. I had completely left my family. That's why I said I don't understand why so much family on my line when you threw me away 18 years ago. I don't have a family.
Well, right, but I remember you saying that basically at some point your uncle had passed and had like left you some things or something.
Again, they don't need to know about all that. So we're not going to discuss that. Like I said, I don't want to remind them of anything because that's not my family. I don't need them coming to me expecting anything from me.
Well, I think you had said in the last one that you had already blew through everything that he had left for you, but that he had left something for you.
So
and they was confused or whatever.
So now, this is the next step. So let's just forget them?
No, MICHAELA.
18 years.
And I get that.
18 years, your due diligence is over.
Okay.
They cannot expect any type of anything from me at this point.
Okay, so let me say it like this, okay? Average human, listen, hold on. Average human life expectancy these days is about 80 years, okay? 80 years, so just follow me. Right now, you're approaching 40, right? They essentially, it sounds like, y'all stop communicating, dealing with each other, whatever, at about 18, okay? 18 to 80 is how many? That's 62 years.
Okay, but that has nothing to do with me.
Well, hold on. All I'm saying is this, okay? Life is longer. It's short, but it's long enough to where we don't want to, like, a decade can seem like a really long time when you're younger, but then as you get older, a decade is like, okay, well, that's just 1/8 of what my life was, right? And so all I'm saying is that life is short. I just lost my dad in January.
I have 2 children already. I don't have time to rekindle no old people relationship. I have 2 children.
Well, you say old people, that's your parents.
And again, no, they are not. A parent would not throw you out. Listen, I'm a woman.
Yeah.
Right?
To be thrown out to the street. You're right.
They don't have boys. I'm a woman. They chose to protect my boyfriend and throw me in jail. Now they already put me in jail at in 2007. Then they did it again. That's how I became homeless, because they'd rather protect my boyfriend than me. So that's why I said I have 2 children. I need to get my life right. So when they do die, my children will have me, because you cannot rekindle a relationship that's dead in the first place. It's just not possible. Is it?
Well, I disagree. I think that anything can be repaired. And I get it. It's a
when
lot.
Somebody puts
sounds like it's a lot of pain. You say
when
a gun?
Gun is pointed to you, when a knife is presented to you as if they're going to kill you, there is no rekindling.
Wait, one of your parents pointed a gun at you?
I don't know who those people are, but that relationship, that's what it's so many more things that we can talk about.
Oh, wow.
But it's not going to be them. Like I said, it's not going to be them at all. And that's on law.
I get it.
Wait. They started that case. And a judge chose to end it as far as leaving them alone. They've asked to be left alone. So I left them alone.
They legally?
Yeah, they legally.
Got like a restraining order or something?
No, they legally. So that's why I said this has to change. You cannot keep on telling me my parents. It's time. The judgment is gone. No more judging. Let's judge ourselves. Because again,
how does that really make you feel?
It doesn't matter about how I feel. What really matters is, but again, I'm not my feelings.
No, that's what the interview is about.
But listen,
it's about you.
But my feelings though, my feelings are sharp and very dangerous. So I'm not going to open that box up again. You know, they're very sharp, they're very dangerous, and I just want to live my life. I have not been able to live my life. You know, I'm a Christian woman. I love to see people do good, but when you try to harm me or you put me in harm's way and you say that it was on purpose for God, I'm out here showing you God's true colors and his true natures. That's all. You know, that's why I said I really am doing a new thing today. I'm not going back to the past. That was a blast from the past, you know, and that's all that was. I will love my parents dearly. That's how I got here. But you do not take a black woman and put them in harm's way. That's not what you do.
I'll tell you what, man. For you to be put out at 18.
And I've been out here trying my best, but I have realized my best ain't good enough. So I just, you know, I'm ready to really start over. Like I said, you know, just being me.
And how old are your kids again at this point?
12 and 6.
12 and 6.
Mm-hmm.
And
I did good, didn't
Are they in the state or are they with family?
They're with my parents, remember?
So, okay.
That's why I said, because I would never have my children out here on the streets like that.
Well, listen, however you feel about your parents, at least
my actions speak louder.
And I was just about to say, thank God for them, you know what I'm saying, that your kids don't have to be in state custody or anything like that, right?
I had a choice. I could have put them in state custody, but I chose to leave them there. And then even that was a slap in the face.
You know, this is getting more curious and more curious. I'm starting to really be curious. I'm curious as to what your parents' side of the story is.
All you gotta do is knock on me.
Right? Because here's the thing. There's always three sides to a story. Your side, their side, and the truth is usually somewhere in the middle.
Oh wait, we have this new thing, this made up court documents that happened behind closed doors.
What do you mean?
I don't believe that if you drop me off in de facto custody, you tell my whole family not to help me, then you double back, begin a court case of my children that I have custody of. Now, remember, you didn't have custody of me. You gave me over to the court system. So how did you end up with custody of my children? Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it.
You did not even have the right to start that court case. But again, I just rather get my money. I don't want to. I have to get my body right. I need my teeth done. You know, I come from a big family. So it's really my time to focus on me.
You know,
it really is.
As I sit here and I listen to you, right? And you sound so sweet and southern and just, you know, like, you don't sound like Bumquisha or nothing like that. You don't sound like you from the bluff and you done went through, you know, got tattoos on your face and ready to bang them up, shoot them up, and do all kind of stuff.
None of that.
You seem like a sweet enough woman. And I'm just trying to figure out, is there something that I'm missing?
Yeah, the people around me. Everybody's so focused on trying to blame one person for all of their sins. I am not Jesus. I'm a woman. I thought Jesus died for our sins. So why are we running around the earth amongst each other, trying to get each other killed? Because we're not working together.
Let me ask you. So, because some people may watch this, they may say, well, maybe there's a degree of mental illness or something like that. Have you ever had any diagnosis?
For those that say that, as a therapist assistant, we're aware that there is a mental illness going on. And again, you cannot blame the next person of that mental illness. If you scream that the next person has mental illness, remember, I'm with the new company now. You cannot continue to keep saying that that person is mental illness because they were in that facility. Because like I've asked before, if you see mental illness on me, where is it at so I can get rid of it? I've asked that before. That
was a diagnosis that happened a long time ago.
No,
right?
I was never diagnosed.
Okay.
Remember, I was helping someone that had mental illness, had PTSD.
Okay.
And I have no problem doing my job either. I have no problem. Because I can pass every test. And if the only tactic is that I'm mental illness, then I do know how to quit my job.
Well, and no, here's the thing. Because
it's an everyday thing now.
What do you mean?
That's crazy. That's a mental illness thing. And we know we're the host of that.
Oh, so people say that to you?
That exact mental illness, we know exactly where it is. Exactly where it is.
What do you mean?
The mental illness that's being thrown on me. Like first they said it was crazy.
Right.
Then they said, well, maybe it's mental illness. Let's just say it's mental illness. We know exactly where that mental illness is. We know exactly where it is.
Well, I don't know. You tell me.
I do. That's what I'm telling you.
Okay.
I do. So the accusations of being mental ill, I take that very seriously.
Okay.
Very seriously. Because that's a blame game.
Okay, you're saying they're using that to like try to use that as the reason why they're doing this and that. I get it.
And
that I could see where that would be totally frustrating.
No, it's
where
not.
Like, well, no, hold on, let me finish.
It's actually exciting.
Well, I hear you, but I don't think so. I think it would be totally frustrating if you was trying to like prove something to somebody and then they kept reverting back to saying you're mentally ill.
And you know that it's there with them.
Okay, yeah, I can see where that would be frustrating. I can see
it's not frustrating. I've never.
No, I can see where it would be frustrating.
But I'm not.
MICHAELA.
But that's why I said you guys think I'm frustrated. I'm excited. I've never been successful before. I'm ready to be great. They said you have to want to be great. You gotta want to breathe, right? You gotta want it as bad as you want life, right? You gotta want it. You gotta want it, and I want it. Don't I want it?
I think you do.
Oh,
I think you do.
Don't think I'm showing. I'm here. I'm here. I'm stepping, ain't I? I'm like, well, let's go.
Let me ask you this: what do you want your life to look like 10 years from now? So when you're 46 years old, your kids are going to be 16 and 22. you know, what do you want your life to look like? Like, give me the vision, the picture in your head.
Okay, so when they're, you know, around that age, I would like to actually be with my children. You know, I would like to be in their lives, rekindling our relationship because I'm their mother. You know, just to be a regular mother, you know, just dealing with my children.
Well, I'll tell you what, one of the things that we do on this channel is we talk to people when they're not right in front of us. One day your kids might see this video and they may have had questions all those years like, dang, my mom wasn't more around or whatever. So go ahead and talk to them. Just talk directly to your kids, even for the future when they're older.
Okay. Well, Zariah and Messiah, I love you. You know, you guys know me, I'm your mother. Hopefully you guys do see this video in the future. Maybe before, you know, we become a family again. I love you, and I will be there soon, one of these days.
I'll tell you what. All right, well, listen, we really appreciate you taking the time, answering all of our questions. If anybody wanted to reach out, help, or donate, you have a way for them to do that? What is it?
No, wait. I can't. So I don't want them to cut my cash app out.
No, that's right.
So
I'll say this. These days, it's nowhere near the amount.
Let me say what I want to say.
Go ahead.
Okay, so with my situation, I would not mind if you guys would make donations to Mr. Marcus so he could help me in my time of need. You know, whenever I need bus cards and things like that, Mr. Marcus is always around. You know, he comes around, he gets me the things that I need. And again, I'm not really that expensive. I'm the type of person, I just kind of need help with my finances. Like, you know, when you're out here on the streets, there's an illness of robbery out here, okay? Like, people literally, you put money into your bank account and then it just swivels away. It's like people are literally counting our money, and it's like we're responsible for them.
Well, I get it, but
I wouldn't mind. No, listen. So I wouldn't mind if you guys make donations to Mr. Marcus. Seriously.
So no, I appreciate that, but I don't like when people send money to my Cash App for other people.
It's
because
not for me.
Well, because then. So you're saying just donate to me? I get it, but you're the one that needs it. So just in case they want to send money to you, what's your Cash App? I can't post my Cash App. No? Okay, well, what's your socials?
I don't have any.
IG and Facebook?
I had to delete everything.
Delete it? All right. All right, MICHAELA. Well, listen, we really appreciate you taking the time, answering all of our questions, and we definitely wish you nothing but the best, okay? Make sure you have a good one, sweetie.
You too.
All right.